Sharing with Mark that I had to change my whole get up. So I kind of combined Tony and Al's kind of style a little bit together because he talks and he acts. I'm not much of an actor, but because I do preach, it's like I can direct, and because I do facilitation. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I would like to invite you into a world much different than the one you live in, but a world that you also are part of and live in. You see, no one knows the mental health issues one has before they enter prison, or the increase in mental health that is caused and added to a person that's in prison. No one knows the family dynamics that may have been shown and handed down. No one knows that certain men were raised on the streets as youth made into men who still had childish mindsets, and now that little boy inside of them cannot be shown, even though inside he may be terrified. And lastly, the man who has no fear because he was created into evil from his upbringing, from abuse mentally, physically, or emotionally, and then turned all into the evilness of the darkness that he lived in. You see, when I was growing up, all my family members were ex-convicts. I was raised in a family where my mom was 16, so we grew up together. It wasn't like she was my mother. It was more like she was my friend. And since my mom was growing up and didn't really know how to be a mother, she couldn't really do that for me. I didn't have a father, and my stepfather was a drug addict. So my stepfather used to slam heroin while my mom would deal with him beating her. So that was the lifestyle I grew up around. So all that mentality that I learned was from the family members that I had. So this is what took me down the road that led me to prison. My name is Ronnie Muniz, E19033. I'm an ex-convict. I'm going to do my best to inform you on the prison population and how unaware the outside world is to the dangerous traps and demonic activity that goes on in what people call the Department of Corrections. Please understand, there is no correction in the Department of Corrections. I don't even know why they call it CDC when there is no correction at all. It's more of a housing facility to house a bunch of men that are really like caged animals, because when we come out, we attack one another. Where's the correction in that? And sorry. So I laugh, haha. This is a world so lied about to the people who don't live in this world, but truly support this world. You see, there are a lot of people that think that they're not part of the problem, but you have people from the outside who buy into these institutions thinking that they're doing some good, but do you not know that when they go and buy into these institutions, that's slave labor that they're getting from us when they bring us to their houses, to their facilities, because they own stock in us being treated the way that they treat us. So you want to blame the system for the way the system is treating us, but you're also part of that system that's helping us become who we are. See, to get who we are, we have to become of who we ain't. So I can't think of that little boy that really hasn't grown up anymore, because that little boy got to stay down inside of me, because I'm around a bunch of men that don't care about that little boy. And if that little boy is shown, they might take advantage of that little boy. So now I got to become the evil man that I watched all my family members be, that I learned how to be when I was growing up on the block. See, I'm an ex-northerner. So me growing up in the block, I had nothing to do but gangbang. I had nothing to do but sell dope. I was on the block at 15. I was in and out of juvenile hall. I was in and out of group homes. So I know what it is like already to be locked up, because when I was a young boy, when my mom had me, they used to lock me up in my mom's room in my crib while my mom went to school, because see, I'm mixed, I'm Latin and black, and the people that raised us in the foster home were Caucasian. And so they used to lock me in the room so they wouldn't have to touch me, so they wouldn't have to feed me, so they wouldn't have to dress me. So you see, I had already started a lockup then, but I remember talking to my mom about this one day. She said, no, my son, you didn't start then. See, I was pregnant with you in juvenile hall. That was your first lockup. Mm-hmm. So I always wonder, was this my fate? Since I started in the jail cell, then I ended up in a room locked up, and now here I am in prison after going through juvenile hall, after going through a group home. So I guess this is who I was made to be. So there is a northern and a southern gang. There are the Bloods and the Crip gangs. There are the Caucasian gangs, and then there are what we call others, which are mostly the Asian Pacific Islanders, but the Puerto Ricans fall under this as well. There is a breakdown of these prison gangs, but there are high ranks to these gangs that homies are married into. See, being married into the cause is like, for us, it was the NF. The NF is the Nuestra Familia. Then you got the Mexican Mafia, which is the MA. And those vatos are from down south, and we're from up north. There are two marriages. But when you marry into these families, it's till death do you part. Mm. There is not always a way to get out. So if you die, because that's what the cause was all about. So those of us that were Northerners, the goal was to become an NF. Now, not all of us wanted to do that, and I was fortunate enough to have a little bit of wisdom to not fall into that category. But I knew that I was going to prison because it seemed like it was inevitable for me. And where we grew up from, that was where it was at. If you made it to the pen, then you was the homie. You was able to say, I earned rank, I earned this. But I remember when they sentenced me that one day sitting in the county jail, and they said, we're going to sentence you to 16 months state prison. And I'm thinking, okay. And they said, they took me down, they shackled me up, and I remember going, what the hell is this? I feel like an animal. I see I had chains around me here that was connected to chains here that went down to my feet. And all I remember is sitting there and going through my mind going, what is about to happen in my life? And I remember them saying, turn around. And we turned around. And I do remember this one thing that helped me take my mind off of that I was being an animal led to prison. I kept singing in my head, shackles on my feet. And that's all I could think of, shackles on my feet. And I remember getting on the bus, and I'm sitting on the bus, and I'm thinking to myself, how did I get here? Knowing that this was the destination of being the homie on the block, but now it's sitting on me, I'm going to prison. I'm going to San Quentin. I only seen this in the movies. I only heard my uncles talk about this. And I remember getting up and getting off the bus and standing there, and they say, drop everything, bend over, cough, spread your cheeks, and I'm thinking, damn, what is going on? I remember them throwing me some orange and telling me to stand there. I got a blanket, a couple of boxers that ain't mine, a couple of t-shirts that ain't mine, a couple of pair of socks that ain't mine, and a blue blanket, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm still thinking I'm in San Quentin. I walk out to the yard, and everybody's working out, and I mean, I'm only 21 years old. These dudes look like they're 4 times my size. And now I'm walking, and I'm like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And now I'm thinking to myself, what did I do? And then all of a sudden I hear, hey, Ronnie Lokes, hey, homie. And I'm like, oh, wow, what's up, bro? Hold on, I'll be there in a minute. I'm going to West Block, dog. I'm going to West Block. Oh, it's all good now. Oh. I know someone. The fear has left. Now I'm sitting in a cell in West Block thinking, I can't wait till I get to the yard because I know someone. So I get up, we go to the yard, we go to eat in the chow hall. And I'm in the chow hall, they got these mules up, and they sit down, and it's a trip because they tell you where to sit. It ain't like I can go sit with my homeboy over there because there's 4 to a table. And so I'm sitting at the table, but I'm looking around, oh wow, there's a couple of people here I know. Their fear is gone. That was my first problem because the fear left of me thinking I'm in the wrong place because now I fit in. So along that journey, I did my time and I came home. But nothing stopped in my mind because now I finally made it to the pen. So now I'm up there while when I come home, I'm respected, I'm honored. I'm gonna get all that stuff I used to see the other homies get when they came home. But see, it wasn't like that because I didn't understand parole. Parole ain't like probation. They want to send you back. You are a menace to society. See, I was no longer Ronnie Muniz. I was now inmate E19033. That's how I was referred to by the California State Department. And I'm like, no problem. What happened was my mindset didn't change. So I went back to prison. Now I'm in San Quentin on a violation. No problem. I could do this, no problem. This is cool. Excuse me. Father? Yeah, I see you walking by praying with people. Can you pray with me? What are you here for, my son? Well, they said I'm here for domestic violence, but I didn't really do the domestic violence. It was just a long story. Well, why don't you repent? Well, what does that mean? What does repent mean? It means to turn from your wicked ways and go the other direction. But I didn't do nothing. I could tell you the story, but I didn't do it. But I'll repent. I'll go the other way. Can you pray for me? No, let you pray for you. I don't know how to pray. What is praying? It's talking to God. Okay, I'm going to talk to God. God, I repent. I was raised Catholic, and so he stops me and prays for me. He walks away, and I get on my bunk, and I'm sitting on my bunk. And all of a sudden, I feel this heat just rise up inside of me, and now I'm crying, and I don't understand why. I'm not scared. I'm not a punk. Why am I crying? To my amazement, I looked to the right where there was no Bible before. Now there's one. Now I know I'm tripping. Somebody came in here and put that there. But I still can't understand why I'm crying. And I'm laughing. I feel like, I guess it's God reached in and took my soul out, washed it, and put it back. But I'm in prison. Next day I'm on the yard, and I'm carrying this Bible. This is really amazing because I don't understand this. Just the day before, I'm outside telling people about burpees and 14 count. They're going to think something's wrong with me because I'm starting to think something's wrong with me. So I walk out to the yard, and the homies are like, hold on there, Holmes. What, you a Christian now? I'm like, I don't know what happened, but the guy prayed, the father prayed, and he left. I cried, the Bible was there, and I guess I met Jesus. Oh, dude, you're tripping. Oh, I know what it is. You must be going to a bad prison, and you want to do the God thing. See, now I'm pissed off because you know better than to talk to me like that. I ain't got to do no God thing, homeboy, because you know who I am. I don't know why this is happening. Now I'm starting to wonder why it happened. Down goes the Bible.
Yeah.
So in San Quentin, they have this wall. Don't know if they still have it. It was on the West Block Yard. And this wall told you where you was going. And I'm looking at the wall, and I said, Jamestown. Homie, what's Jamestown? Jamestown is gladiator school. Gladiator school? What the hell you mean gladiator school? homie, you go there, you outnumbered. It's all Southerners. Wow. That's why you carried that Bible, huh? Homie, I didn't even know where I was going. Here I am, on a violation, shackled down again, on my way to Jamestown. In my head, I'm still tripping on this God thing. How did this happen to me? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what. If you protect me in Jamestown, I won't do nothing. But the moment that I have to put the Bible down because I don't know you enough to protect me. So we get on the bus, we're all standing up, and this dude comes up and he goes, "Hey Holmes, where's this bus from, S.A.? From Guidemas, Holmes. Watch your back, S.A. You know what, watch your back, S.A. Man, already we're getting checked right off the bus." So off the bus we walk, we get unshackled, dude, I don't even know from up north. I said, dude, just watch my back, I'm gonna watch yours. So we get into what they call the gym, and we're in the gym and we're standing there. And I'm like, look, homie, we're outnumbered. We done already got pulled out. So when we go out to the yard, just stay with me. When we walk out together, you got just right on my back. We'll go to the hole together. So this dude comes up and he's like, and I'm like, he's like, and I'm like, I was like, I'll be out. Ready? Yeah. So we walk out to the yard. And I'm walking up and I'm getting closer to the dude that's doing this with me. And I'm getting closer and I turn around. Wow, dude took off. He left me. What a lady, me and this dude together. So I get closer to this guy. Oh my God, homeboy, it's you. What's up, Flacco? What's up, Babu? How you doing, homie? Oh, man. Now I'm cool again because I know this guy. I'm like, dude, this Vato just came up talking about, oh, I don't trip, dude. We're outnumbered here. We don't trip. It's 25 of us, like 100 of them. In my head, I'm like, so that's like 2, 4, what, maybe 3 dudes per, all right. I said, but there's a problem, homie. He said, what's that? I said, I don't know how to tell you this, because you might, I don't know. But I met Jesus, bro. He starts cracking up. He goes, guess what? And I'm like, what, homie? He goes, I met him too. I'm like, what? What's up with this? Wow, really? So now we're conversating about the Lord, but I remember what I told God on the bus. If you protect me, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
But if I have to get down, I got to put the Bible down. So I told all the homeboys, because I already had a reputation, I said, look, kid, if you guys get off on the yard, I'm there for you. But if I get off, you don't have to be there for me, because I'm not going to walk with you. I'm going to do me. Because I don't really get this concept of this Jesus I met. I could go on about the story in Jamestown, but we could just kind of wrap up the story that some Southerner came up to me and said, I don't get how you walk in the chow hall, our chow hall, by yourself, eat with no problem. You sit on these bleachers reading that Bible and nobody messes with you. Can you tell me about this guy? I said, hey, I really don't know him. I'm still kind of trying to figure this thing out myself. But I do know that there's a feeling inside of me that I can't explain. The sad part was that I watched this guy come up to me the next day with about 8 of his friends. And all the homies stood up, and I said, this, remember my pack, if they come at me, you don't have to jump because I'm not running with you. They all came to the bleachers. So I was Skit, Holmes, you can't be telling our homeboy about this Jesus, Vato, man. This is the pinta, Holmes. Hold on a minute. What happened to his face? You beat him because he came to talk to me about Jesus? Wow. Let me tell you this much. See those dudes that are standing over there? They got nothing to do with me. So if you want to take this out on me, just understand something. I made a pact with Jesus. I didn't tell him what the pact was. Because I'm saying, okay, because there was a scripture I said, put me to the test. and see that I will not fail. This was my test.
Yeah.
And they looked at me and they said, well, just stay away from him, Holmes. Just stay away from him. And they walked away and I said, wow, this thing really works. This is pretty interesting. Wow. The next day, roll it up. Damn, where am I going now? You're going back to San Quentin. Why? Because when I was younger, I got beat into a coma and I had a blood clot in my head, so I used to have seizures. Little did I know, God must have had a plan with that because I couldn't go to fire camp. So there I was on the bus, back to Quentin, thinking like, wow. So I get out, and I'm back on the street. And I'm like, Lord, I need to pay my rent. Lord, I need to pay my rent. What am I going to do? You told me to trust in you, so how do I pay my rent? I need something. Nothing's happening. My girl and the kid, they're hungry. The rent needs to be paid. Hey, carnal, I need to make some feria. I need a jale really quick. Gracias. All I had to do was get in the car and drive, get out the car, walk around the corner, come back and get back in the car, drive back to the destination, reach under the car, grab my money for the rent, and get out the car. So that's what I did. And I said, ooh, that was easy. Hey, homie, can we do that again?
No.
Now I'm back in the game.
Yeah.
God left. Or should I say, I left God. And that process, at the same token, my mindset is different because now I have a kid. The problem with me is I like smoking KJ. And I'm selling KJ. So I'm selling KJ, smoking KJ, making money. Now I got another girl on the side. She's pregnant. Oh my God. Now I'm in trouble. How do I tell my old lady I got a baby coming? Okay, I can't do this no more. I gotta be cool. I really gotta change my life. I'm gonna make one more deal and that's it. That deal sent me to Mule Creek on the bus again. Damn, now I'm going to Mule Creek. I get to Mule Creek, put him in Head. Now I'm in Head. Don't know why I'm in Head though. Ain't Head where all the bad dudes go? I ain't ever got caught for nothing I did. There for 10 days, someone comes and knocks on the door. Put your hands to the slot. Put my hands to the slot, turn around, walk out backwards. I said, I got a question. Why was I put in Head? Interesting concept. Well, in one prison, you was banging. And then in another prison, you was a Christian. We couldn't figure out which one you was. There I was, went to the yard, and I programmed. I went home, and I said, I got to really stop this lifestyle. This is not working. I get out. I'm out for 2 months. A friend of mine says, Ronnie, can you drive by and make a deal for us? We'll do the deal, give you some money, and you're on your business. We know you know the connection. Like a dummy, I did it. Next thing I know, we're in Daly City. Worst place to get arrested is San Mateo County. I swear the whole task force, the president of the United States, everybody surrounded us. And I'm thinking, damn. But little did I know, the sad part was it was a snitch that was setting us up. The sad part was I had just had the first holding of my new child. And I told her I'll be right back. And now I'm sitting on the side of a car, handcuffed, going, I guess I ain't gonna make it back. So there I go off to the Redwood City County Jail. Now I'm in Redwood County Jail and I'm thinking to myself, what did I get into now? The first deal that came at me was 17 years. I said, 17 years for an ounce of KJ? But little did I know that this was a sting job, and the dude from San Jose had kicked the informant in his mouth and busted all his teeth out. So now I got that charge on me too. So we fought the case for a while. The next thing I know, we got 4 years. Off to Folsom Prison. I'm thinking, damn, San Quentin, Jamestown, Mill Creek, and now Folsom. Damn, 4 years, like, So here we go to Folsom. And I'm looking at this place, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a castle. Wow, I could feel death. No, I mean, I could really feel death. This ain't like San Quentin. This ain't like Mill Creek. This ain't like Jamestown. There's something different about this prison. So off the bus we go. We walk in, and they go, you're in one building. One building was the biggest building. And I'm like, damn, this is pretty sick. I get in my cell, I sit down, and I think, I'm in the big time now. This ain't San Quentin. Because I do know that the Mexican Mafia is here, the NF's here, the Black Guerrilla family's here. They playing big, the Aryan Brotherhood's here. But they got this pause right now because they're moving all these high-powered homies across the street to New Folsom. So to the yard, to the chow hall we go. And I remember walking, and you turn and walk in the chow hall, and there's all these holes on the wall, and I'm walking going, hey Holmes, what are all those holes on the wall from? Oh dude, they don't have warning shots here. When they shoot to kill. And I'm just looking at, I sit down and I'm looking, and I'm more amazed at the bullet holes in this jail. Because now I know it ain't no game. And I'm eating, and I'm so amazed at where I'm at and what's going on, and the train of my thought, and the feeling of cold, like a dungeon in this prison, like it's just death itself here. That it was like, get up, you're done. And I'm like, I haven't even finished. And then I'm realizing that this isn't a place to play. So, to kind of take the vision of this glorification of prison away, I end up becoming a guy who sits up under the shot caller from the NF. He tried to recruit me on what they call a fluke because they gave me some documentations that told me to read it. Little did I know, because I had already done some work on the yard, they wanted to pull me. But the guy that I didn't like, that got busted with me, that kicked the dude in the teeth, that was now in the prison with me, that I actually wanted to kill because he started writing my sister, and he was writing my sister, and my stupid sister was bringing dope into him. Now my mom's at home freaking out because she's finding out what my sister's doing, and I'm thinking in my head it's because of this dude, and I want to kill him now. But the NF dude tells me I can't. And I'm thinking to myself, how much power can this dude have to tell me I can't kill this dude? And he said, think about it this way, you kill him, you're in here for the rest of your life. Use him and get money from him. So like a dummy, I'm like, okay. So now I'm right up under the shot caller. But this same guy ran across the yard and snatched the papers out of my hand and said, don't do that to him. See, little did I know he was a structure boy. See, you have the NF, then under that you have the structure, then under that you have the Norteños. See, I was a Norteño, this dude was a structure. Structure is more like San Jose, Gilroy, Hollister, and they're right up under the NF. To this day, in a weird kind of way, the dude I didn't like actually saved me, because if I'd have read that, there was no turning back. So I get out of prison, and I have another kid, I have a son, and I'm like, okay, life has to change. So I meet the girl that I meet before we had the baby. There was a lot that happened. She seen the gangster part of me, she didn't want it. She told me I had to make a choice, so I made a choice. I made the choice to be with her and said, leave the hood alone. But little did I know, I was kind of like, because I wanted to still make a little bit of money. And so at the end of the day, what ended up happening was I went to college. I went to college, and it was interesting because God never came back. And I never really thought about it. All this time, that God I met in prison, he never came back. So I'm in school now, I'm doing good, but now I got a drinking problem. So now I'm drinking, and I'm selling dope she don't know. I'm going to school. I'm like, damn, I'm all messed up. I got to change my life. Please, she says, you know what? I think you need to leave. I can't be with you no more. So I leave. I get me an apartment, and one day I'm sitting on the bed like this, and I'm like, God, you came before. I'm lost. I'm lost. If you are real, if you are really real, I need you. I never really learned the whole prayer part, but I do know if you're real that I need you. And I don't know what else to do. Oh my God, it's 5 o'clock. I went down at 12. What happened between? I don't know. Wow, like.
Nice.
5 o'clock. The church. It's up the block. And I ran to the kitchen and I grabbed the bowl and I got the bowl and I ran up to the church and I'm Catholic, right? So, I'm thinking holy water because that's what Catholics do. And I'm standing there and the lady comes up and she's like, take the money thing to go collect money. Apúrate. And I'm like, I don't even know you. And then I'm walking and I'm shaking and they're giving money and in my head I'm like, I'm just here for holy water. And then I give her the money and I'm still standing there and I'm sweating. I don't know why. And I'm holding it. And she goes, ¿Qué onda? And I'm like, un agua. Oh, aquí. And I'm going and I get the water and I run home and I take my shoes off and I get in front of the door and I'm like, okay. And I walk in the house and I go to the shower and I take off my clothes and I jump in the water and don't know why. I poured the water on me. And then I drank the water. And I said, you got me. Whatever you want to do, I'm yours. Yeah. And I remember leaving out the shower and not knowing what to do, not having an idea. And here I am walking with God. But it's different this time. It's like it's real. It's like there's this relationship. And now I'm reading the Bible and it's coming alive at me and now I'm like this new person that I don't understand. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do, God? How do I get closer? What do I do? Because I'm lost again. I mean, I'm the homie part I get, and then now it's you and it's you're back and help me. The next thing I know, I'm so flamboyant, I go to work and I'm telling everybody about Jesus. I work at Walden House and they're like, Ronnie, you gotta stop doing that. I'm like, I can't. If you don't stop, you're gonna lose your job. Okay. Well, God, now what do I do? Because I have to figure this thing out. And the next thing I know, I hear this 3 letters in my head. GBY. I said, wow. So I start going around telling everybody, GBY. And one dude came up to me and goes, I know what you're saying. I said, what am I saying? He says, you're saying God bless you. I said, yeah, brother, you got it. I lost my job. I'm sitting at home, going, okay, I have no job. How do I pay my rent? I knock on the door. Now let me tell you how God works. My mom's standing on the other end of the door. My mom's 4'11", so she's real tiny. And I give her a hug and she says, "Mi open aquí." And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking I'm in trouble. So I follow her. She goes, let's go to Safeway. So we go to Safeway. She goes, go shopping. I went shopping. I go, who we shopping for? She goes, for you. Now you don't argue with mom, right? So I get the food. I go home, I sit down on the couch, she sits at the table. How much is your rent? At that time, a long time ago, it was $910 out of studio in Westlake. She wrote a check, she said, pay your rent.